back to Xpnsion Network. We're continuing our extraordinary conversations with the highest light workers, and we're here at the Conscious Life Expo in LA. Occasionally we have the opportunity in our industry to get to know people. We know people on a professional level, we interview with people, we sometimes work with people, but we don't really get to know people. And Brad and I have the honor of knowing just a few people that we really consider friends and, you know, really great energy alignment, the type of people that we'd hang out with if we didn't even know them from our own business, right? And Lori Spagna is one of them. If you're not familiar with Lori, you've been sleeping under a rock, but that's okay. We're pulling you out from under there.
Thank you for saying that.
Lori, please tell everybody, in your words, what you do.
Well, thank you. First of all, thanks for having me here.
Yes.
And what I do, I have been working for about 20 years now with humans and animals to help them to come into alignment with Source. So I do that through activations. I'm a multidimensional channel, intuitive. I'm a light worker, so I help guide and lead people, show the light,
yes,
bring them into alignment with that source, and really awaken from within themselves that connection, that original divine unity, right, with that their own divinity within them. They awaken the divine source within them.
Isn't that nice?
For people and animals.
Yeah. I think what we love, one of the many things that we love about you is your versatility. But this also, we have always supported that sentience is sentience. Souls are souls. Okay. Only humans really have this perception of hierarchy, yes, with their embodiments against, yeah, other souls, yeah, right? And yet we're the most limiting souls when it comes to communication, not only with each other, but definitively with other sentient beings that, yes, are not human embodiments, yes, okay? And when you hit a point on your spiritual path where you start to awaken to the fact that anything that processes an emotion has a soul, is a soul with an embodiment, okay? And you start to change your behavior, you start to change your perception. But not just that, you start to be able to see these other sentients as the extraordinary gifters, that they are,
yes,
okay? And then along the line too, what happens is I think humans finally open up to a desire to be able to have some of that communication. Not just for their own benefit, but because they understand that there's wisdom in all sentience. When did you figure out in your life that you felt like you could really tap into the communication of beings that are not human beings?
Yeah. Well, let me say this first. Humans, you said earlier when we were first talking, that humans are the only ones, or the only humans don't recognize other beings as sentient. And I think that that's the reptilian ancestry in us. I think the original divine blueprint for humans, right, knows, sure, the higher truth that we're all sentient.
Right.
But we've been reptilian based. We've, yeah, been controlled by this old hierarchical, patriarchal type of programming that's affected the way we perceive and understand things. But I think at our core we know that animals, right, are sentient, right, and really conscious. And for me, I started to learn it really, it was just birthed from as far back as I can remember. I always wanted to be of service to animals. Nice. I didn't understand what that meant, but that was my ongoing mantra. I want to be of service to animals on a global scale. And I just thought I was going to be a great dog trainer. That was my, yeah, or vet perspective, yeah, right? Yeah. And it evolved into the animals started talking to me, and the thing I would hear them say over and over again was, "You listen to me, and I will teach you." Yeah. And because I was recruited and trained as a dog trainer in my early days, I would have to do things on automatic pilot without thinking because of the way I was being trained. And I would hear the dogs teach me. I would hear them be saying things about energy, like early lessons, like, we feel your energy. If you want us to work with you, feel our energy. They were training me and teaching me.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And like, what is that like to kind of tell people, you know, I can talk to your dog, I can talk to your cat? Like, when did you conjure the bravery to even be able to have that dialogue? I can imagine this starting off with, well, maybe your dog would like this, or maybe your dog would like that, versus, your dog is telling me that he or she wants this. When did that empowerment jump in?
Well, what happened was I was working as a dog trainer. I got hired by a guy who spent 20 years working for the United States government, training service dogs for the government.
Okay.
So I worked for him for a year, but what would happen was when I would go train the dogs for the people or work with the people to train their dogs, I would say, I'm also learning animal communication and telepathy. I can't make you any promise that I'm any good at it. And that's where it started. And every time they'd be like blown away.
Yeah.
So when you keep getting validation like that
That's
about
true.
how blown away people are, you start to realize like there's something in this. This is the big one.
Okay.
Casey. I was living in Maui at the time. I was working as a dog trainer, and someone from another island, Oahu, had a post on Craigslist asking for an animal communicator. And I wrote to this woman and I said, look, I'm really new. I don't know if I can really be very good at it, but I've been doing it not professionally, and I'll be happy to be of service to the best of my ability. Send me a picture, don't tell me anything.
Right.
So she sends me a picture of a horse's head, a foal, and next to a mommy. And I can only see their head. And I tune in and I start hearing, I'm stumped, I'm stumped, I'm stumped. And I'm thinking that's my brain saying I'm stumped. And I keep hearing go below the knee. And I'm like, I don't even know what that means, go below the knee. I can't even see anything but your face in the picture. Which of course I told her to just send me the face, the eyes, because I connect through the eyes. But I write this back to the woman and I'm like, this is all I'm getting. I guess it's a waste. And she's like, no, we had to amputate below the knee.
Wow.
This horse is stumped. Can you please go back? See what else you can get.
Wow.
So I knew I had it. So I go back to the horse and I hear, there's bad people around me. They want to kill me. Tell them to go away. I want to live. And oh, by the way, can you tell them to give me some more carrots? So I get back to the woman and I tell her this through email. And I mean, this is like when internet's first out too. So it was kind of a slow process. And she's like, that's exactly right. We didn't know if we should euthanize this baby horse who has no leg. We had to amputate because of an accident. And now that we know, we're going to fit this horse for a prosthetic. And that was when I realized, wow, I can save lives.
You betcha.
And that changed everything for me.
And of course, I want to say very quickly also, this is not the only limited thing that Lori does, as most flight workers have access to gifts that they don't even know they have sometimes as they just start to show up for everything. Lori is also an extraordinary channel, and being a channel my own self, I know that. But here's what I know and love about Lori. I don't know everything about Lori, but this is what I know about Lori. Lori's chosen to integrate herself in service to people. When she looks at you, she's going to authentically figure out, what can I do for you? What can I do for you? Okay? She's not going to make you have to conform to whatever single gift she has. She's a shapeshifter. She's a morphetic. Okay? What can I do for you? What can I do for you? The authentic energy of Lori is immeasurable, okay? As we facilitate our own empowerment, we don't often see that. Lori's somebody you need to get to know. You need to see her shows, get to know her, share her, integrate things in your life. And we're going to continue this incredible conversations with Lori in our full episode programming. But for people out there who think, I think I get a feeling for this, or I think I get a feeling for that, or I'm not sure. How did you allow your gifts to finally come through? What helped you let go of your doubt?
Well, let me see this. This is what I was going to say. That was so nice what you just said. Thank you. Well, I was just going to say that I know all of this was birthed because that's really true. I wanted to be of service. I really had it in my mind that I could make the world a better place. I think it was a little delusional, but at the same time it really was true, because when you tap into consciousness, the divine consciousness in service and contribution, without attachment or expectation, and that's something everybody can do.
That's right.
we have the ability to make the world a better place.
Yeah, and I always say it's really a selfish act because
It
it really
is.
elevates you, right? I
Yes.
mean, it's like I'm going to serve you, but it's really a tenfold receivership for those
Yes.
of us. So we're kind of selfish, but we're good with that,
Yes.
right?
And I mean, I think that's what I'm all about now, is just helping people find their inner light worker, their inner light, that part of us that wants to fall in love with ourselves, think we're so awesome. Like, I do feel that, but not from an ego, but more like, oh, it's the divine that I've learned to access and awaken within myself.
Nice.
That's radiating from me, that everybody else has too.
Right.
And what I've come to learn, this is why I love you and Brad so much, is that what I love is that when it's really awakened within us, we are everybody's cheerleader.
Right.
We want the best for everybody else because
Right.
we know that elevates us all, and it just feels so good. And it's,
Right.
I mean, that's what's in everybody waiting
Right.
to awaken, and that's, I think, what we do help people to awaken within themselves and animals.
Right.
Because it's in there. The animals are awakening too, even
Yeah,
though.
isn't that nice?
Yes, their consciousness is so easy to access, higher consciousness. At the same time, they've been having a physical experience in that third dimensional realm that we are having, and
Right.
everyone's waking up and elevating.
Right.
So,
Right. If you are in the area and listen to this transmission during this weekend, please come down to the Conscious Life Expo. Lori's doing some incredible speaking engagements for everybody, and you can chase her down. You can chase her down. You come to our booth, we'll help you chase her down.
I'll be hanging out here a lot
Right.
too.
And
I'm
you can-
getting a reading with Julius. It's like, I think Julius is the bomb. I'm so excited.
Lori has all kinds of programs, her own self. Tell everybody your website and how to find you.
Yeah, I would love to hear from you. My website is my name, LoriSpagna.com. It's LORISPAGNA. And if you would like some amazing free gifts, you can go to LoriSpagna.com/free gifts/DNA. We'll send you a free DNA activation and a class on how you can learn to activate your own DNA. And if you go to LoriSpagna.com/free gifts/starseed, you can learn about your role as a light worker, a star seed, a way shower, a change agent, and how you can be part of facilitating consciousness and awakening the divine within you. I love it.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Have an extraordinary day, and we'll be back with you soon.